Hola a todos, Michelle, estoy aquí con un otro video en mi viaje de adquirir español. Yo hice 576 horas in este punto, at this point. And so I just want to share, me gustaría compartir mi, mis notas de esta semana pasada, from this past week. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started here. So this week, I continue to watch, Dreaming Spanish videos is something that is part of my norm. I do watch Dreaming Spanish videos, but I've also noticed myself watching, or not watching, listening to more podcasts because I know that I move a lot, like, during my mornings, and if I'm on breaks, I'm usually doing something, like, if it's laundry or getting my lunch ready, things like that, taking out the trash. So, I've been having my headphones on a lot more and having the No Hay Tos podcast in the background. So, that is something that I've been listening to this week. I started listening to it last week, taking a break from How to Spanish podcast, and I started listening to the No Hay Tos. And with No Hay Tos, I continue to listen to the same episode multiple times. So I have been finding that interesting when I feel like I've listened to it probably like 10 times at this point, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for something different, a new topic, then I'll go to the next episode. But it's been fun listening to a different podcast. In my last week's stream, I mentioned that, this was a podcast when I started to listening to it like at the beginning of my journey with dreaming Spanish and acquiring Spanish, that the podcast was a little bit more difficult because I spoke faster, more slang. And so it was like, hey, let me go ahead and challenge myself. So that is why I started to listen to No Hay Tos, and I'm enjoying the process with that as well. Last week, I did mention that I started watching this series on VIX, and VIX is like a Roku, but it's like everything's in Spanish. So you have all the movies, the series, live TV to choose from, and it's all in Spanish. So I started watching that. And the reason I got that subscription, because I have a premium subscription, is because my T-Mobile account, they give out free things every Tuesday, and so that was one of the free things that I got. So I'm going to share in case anybody's interested in the series that I was watching, started to watch last week. It's called Las Pelotaris, and so for me, this show I didn't understand it all, for sure. Did not understand it all in no way, shape, or form. One sec. I need to rearrange my screen so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah. In no way, shape, or form was this something that was easy for me. And so, okay, give me a sec. There we go. But it was nice because my partner, she helps me, walks me through it when there's some things I don't understand. Are there things that I do understand? Yes, there are some things that I understand. And like I said, it's those moments when I'm like, oh my gosh, I get what they just said in a sentence or even in a conversation exchange. It's a win. Not knowing everything that they're saying, because there will come a point where I will understand everything when I watch these shows. But overall, I thought it was a great series. Like, I'm on the edge of my seat, and I'm not really like, so it's a series. I don't know if I'd call it a novella. And I don't know what the difference between a novella and a series is, because like novellas have, like, I don't know, sometimes I see novellas that have like over 100 episodes or something. So for me, I felt like this series was different and more intriguing, and it wasn't predictable, which is what things that I like. I like things that aren't like, oh, I already know what is going to happen. I already know what's going to happen. So for me, I'm looking forward to this show. We finished season 1. I'm looking forward to season 2. Couldn't find it on anywhere on Google when season 2 will be happening. So I'm looking forward to that whenever it comes out. And hey, maybe when season 2 comes out, I won't even need a translator anymore. So I'll definitely be ready for that one. And no, 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 stay. Oh no, I was like, stop sharing. Okay, cool. And yeah. Okay, next on the list is, well, my question to you is, what shows and series are you watching? So I'm curious, like what shows and or even movies that you found interesting, shows, podcasts. Like I'm curious what else is out there, resources to kind of help us all like that are interesting topics. I also wanted to share, so I watched a video with Natalia, one of the Dreaming Spanish teachers, and she mentioned the movie, what is it called? Oh, she mentioned the movie La what is it? It's called La Cara Oculta, The Hidden Face. So I watched the trailer for it and I thought it looks really interesting. So this is also another movie when I'm ready to keep an eye out for because I thought the premise of it looked pretty interesting and cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Mm, let's see. So also what's been happening is while I'm at work, I take a lot of notes when I'm at work. So one thing that I've been doing while I'm at work is trying to write out sentences on the things that I'm taking notes about in Spanish to see if I can create that sentence. And it doesn't happen all the time, but I noticed that I started doing it just to get my brain thinking in Spanish because all day I'm speaking, everything I'm doing is in English. So it's just a way to insert some Spanish into my work routine. And even if I write a sentence in English because I'm taking notes, I'll try to create the sentence myself and then I'll use Google Translate to see if I got it right. If not, I'll use Google Translate to say like, "Oh, what is that word? What does that word translate to in Spanish?" so that it's just picking up a little vocabulary here and there. So that is something that I started to do as well. This is my second week using Preply, and Preply is the tutor. Think of it like italki, where you can find tutors from different parts of the world to help you in your journey of acquiring Spanish or any language at that. So I'm going to go ahead and share it because I like to share. So this was my second week in using Preply. And once again, like my Tuesday teacher, she's more, I would say, like a teacher vibe. So she's going to have her Canva presentation. She's sharing it. She already has a lesson produced. We're kind of going in and out of doing that. Hey, what's up? If you want to say hi, go ahead and say hi. Let me know how your journey's going. And so I noticed that once again this week, while we're having the lesson, towards the end of my lesson, there's a little box that pops up on my screen that was like, "You're speaking 20% of the time. Speak more." And so it's one of those things like once again, I talked about this last week that I noticed where she's doing a lot of the talking. So for instance, this week she covered por versus para. And she had different slides on, when you can use para, when you use por, and it was like multiple like rules. And I noticed myself writing notes, taking down the rules. So like, oh, I need this for my information so that I know what to do. I can get my brain to understand when I use por versus when I use para. And so I'm just seeing like all, and I don't know if like you've ever seen like slides where there's a whole page of like notes and you're just trying to get as much as you can because I feel like I think I need all of it. So I'm like halfway listening to her is what I'm noticing while she's explaining it to me. And then she'll have a sentence on the screen and she wants me to determine which rule is that coming from, and I'm noticing that I was, like, guessing. So I'm just like, I don't know if that was really working for me," and moving forward to today's session, I have a Friday session in Preply that's a different tutor because I'm wanting to get the vibe of 2 different people to see who I'd like to move forward with, and what he did today, which I really appreciated, is he used one of my websites, like, from work that we use, and he was like, "I want you to tell me, instruct me how to sign up, how to create an account, where to go, how to, watch these courses and things like that." So I learned a lot today because it's like I said, the vocabulary is, different for me than, como estás and things like that. So I really appreciated that, him going through those things and in more like a conversation and me guiding him because it really forces me to speak. It really forces me to step outside of my comfort zone and speak and learn. And so I feel like it was really helpful. Also, like being able to repeat things like to click somewhere. It was I got click, I got click. And because I was speaking to him in Usted, and he said, if you're speaking to, a customer, you're going to be using like the formal way. So I was like, okay, I get that. That's cool. So I really appreciated that as well. And Yeah, so like I said, I'm giving each of them a month. So I meet have my Tuesday and I have my Friday. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see like what direction I'm going in. I'm still like want to stay open to both possibilities to see what that looks like. Although I feel like it would be beneficial to have one instructor to stick with in order to create momentum in speaking, because I'm noticing one is giving me speaking and one is giving me like classroom setting grammar and things like that. And that's not really how I've been learning. Although, one way I do keep up with my grammar and stuff, it's not on purpose, or I have just always used Duolingo. So I've been using Duolingo for years. And right now, for me, Duolingo is, I do one lesson a day, no matter what. One lesson a day. So I always get something in Spanish. I'm learning one new vocab, I'm learning a conjugation. And it's just something that I've made part of my daily routine even prior to utilizing comprehensible input. So Duolingo is part of my journey as well. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Please share with me your micro wins, macro wins that you've been going on, even if it's outside of acquiring the language of Spanish. And let me know if you have any questions, share any resources that you've been using. I would love to hear about the resources and just getting to know different things that are out there, not only for me, but for other people who watch this video and check out the comments as well. Yeah, and if you're out there, just please say hi. I'd love to have a conversation and, you know, keep in touch and just get to learn about everybody. But until then, hasta, hasta, hasta la próximo video. Ciao.